Hi, and welcome to our Access MBA live event with the Solvay Ponts from Paris, France. With us today we have Olivier, Verna, and François, who will be presenting themselves in just a moment. During this 1-hour live interactive session, we have plenty of questions and look forward to hearing from our web audiences as well. Let's get started as our participants introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is François Blanchet. I'm the Director of Marketing and Admissions at the Ecole Business School. I'm very happy to welcome you at our executive campus in the center of Paris.
Hello everyone, my name is Verna Mugot and I'm with the current cohort for Solvay Ponts. And yeah, thank you.
Hello, my name is Olivier Pesret. I'm part of the first joint cohort of full-time Solvay Ponts MBA.
Okay,
very happy to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. So my first question is going to be actually for Olivier and for Verna. So can you tell us a little bit about your background and why you wanted to do an MBA?
Okay. So I'm from the Philippines and I've been with the IT industry for 5 years, more than 5 years, and working on application analysis and process management. So I decided that I need to have an MBA because I wanted to integrate both technical and business side, because in today's modern times you need to have integration of both concepts. So I think it's a very critical, important factor, especially working in the IT industry, which moves very fast. So that's why I decided to do an MBA. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll ask the same question to you, Verna. Well, another question.
Yeah, sure.
What did you consider when you were choosing your MBA in terms of the criteria you wanted for the MBA program?
Okay. So for the program, I was looking for something that, as for a program that promotes innovation and creativity in their students. And I wanted to live in France, and so that's why I looked for a very good school, and I came upon Ecole des Ponts, that is really an engineering school, and they have also the program also promotes very qualified teachers, and so it's really something that I was looking forward to when I applied for this.
Thank you. And what about you, Olivier? What was your background? Why did you want to get an MBA degree?
So I have a different type of profile for the non-typical MBA profile, because I come from the art world. So I initially have a Master in Fine Arts, and I worked for 8 years alongside artists and creating a gallery as well. And so I came up to a point in my career where I needed to move on, and to be able to move on I needed to acquire new skills. And so the MBA was for me a good opportunity to learn an incredible amount of new skills in a given amount of time. And so that's how I came upon to do an MBA, and also because my father did one early in his career, and it had a very positive impact on his career as well, and so I had a good incentive there.
And how did you end up making your choice to Solvay Ponts?
So I was actually living in Belgium. I lived in Belgium for the last decade, and I had signed up for Solvay, and I was looking for a program which was innovative as well as broad in an international sense. And one other key factor for me was that I wanted to enter a program which was a smaller program, because I wanted to be able to have stronger ties with my peers and a better chance to interact with professors as well and the alumni network. So I wanted some kind of close-knit community instead of going for the very big programs you have out there.
Mm-hmm. Thanks very much. And next question is for François. So can you tell us what makes Solvay Ponts unique as an MBA program?
Well, I think that Verna mentioned a first aspect, which is very important to us, which is the quality of the faculty, because actually we're inviting some of the best professors from leading universities and business schools from around the world to teach in Brussels and in Paris, and this brings really something special in terms of diversity of thoughts, and also we have this vision that the economy is really global today. It's not only words, and it's important for the participants to get this knowledge directly from people from around the world. And we also offer, of course, a number of international learning opportunities. So I think this international dimension is very special. I would also mention the focus on the business of innovation, how to innovate in the business world with a number of skills and tools that our participants have access to. And lastly, I would say that it's not only an MBA about corporate transformation, it's also a transformative MBA where we offer our participants the opportunity to transform themselves, of course, through all the learning opportunities that they have, and mostly with the soft skills classes, but also through the career advancement program, which is really designed to help them first design their career path and achieve the transformation they want to go to.
Okay, thanks. My next question is still for you, so you can hold on to the microphone. So you mentioned Brussels and you mentioned Paris. For those who may not know, Solvay Ponts is actually a partnership between two very renowned schools. So it's Ecole des Ponts Business School and Solvay Brussels School. What is the value of the joint MBA degree at Solvay Ponts?
Well, I think you'll say that better than I will. But I mean, we're very proud that we've been ranked by CEO Magazine the first full-time MBA program in the world. Because of this value we're creating for our participants. So the small class size is very important, the quality of the faculty, but also all the, I would say, the personal branding opportunities that they have. Because this program is taking place in Brussels and in Paris, because they have access to a network of 30,000 alumni worldwide, including 6 CEOs of Fortune 500 companies in very diverse industries, then they can really leverage the right school depending on the countries they want to be in. And because also this is a real global network, our participants can take classes in our sister programs all around the world. This really brings value in a global and innovative economy.
Okay, thanks very much. So I'm going to go back to Olivier, because you've been through the program. How do you think someone can transform their career with this MBA program?
So the thing is, we all know that there are several types of outcomes after an MBA. Either you stay in your industry and you're able to move on to higher places. Either you look for more entrepreneurship, and so you want to start your own business, or the last one is also you want to switch industries. And I think so that's the regular outcomes. But the way you transform yourself is that you have what François mentioned, is you have during the year a lot of self-reflection, in the sense that you think about what you want to do, what you want to achieve. And I know that for a fact that during the 15 months program, I changed ideas so many times, and in the end, I'm now in a field that I didn't know quite existed before, and nonetheless feels quite natural for me. Mm-hmm. So it has a really transformative quality to it, in the sense that you learn stuff, but more importantly, that you're able to share it and to have feedback from your peers, from your professors, the staff. The career advancement program was actually also very important to me, because I've never, coming from the art world, I've never had to search for a job until now, and so it was crucial for me to acquire those skills, and so that has transformed me quite a bit.
Okay, thank you very much. And now for Verna, maybe you can tell us, so Olivier talked on the professional transformation. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're getting from the MBA on a personal level?
All right. So being with the MBA is a constant struggle to deal with your weaknesses, I think. So, but I think it's quite a good thing, because you know where to put your focus on. And once you put focus on it, it improves you into becoming a better person. So it's really hard, but it's challenging as well. So it's a balance of what you become, what you want to become, and you improve further as you go through the program. So so that's.
Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to ask François, actually both of you, Verna and François, maybe you have different answers. How would you say that the program reflects the global diversity in the staff and in the MBA students? How can we concretely see that?
Well, sure. I mentioned I leave it up to Verna and maybe Olivier if he wants to talk about their classmates. But actually, I'm the French guy in the team, and there's one person from Belgium in the staff at Solvay dedicated to the MBA. That's important also. We have dedicated teams working on these MBA programs. That means that we know all the students and all the participants know us also, and they have that direct access to us. And we have a very diverse team with people from all corners of the world.
Yeah. For my current cohort, we're actually, I think, 19 in the cohort, but our nationalities, I've counted them every single one of us, so it's actually 13 different nationalities. And if you get to deal with a lot of nationalities every day or most of your time here in this program, then you get a good view, a good overall global view of how you deal with with different kinds of culture, and I think that's very important nowadays.
Okay, thanks very much. We're actually starting to get questions from the web. I just want to remind listeners that they can send their questions to live@accessmba.com. So we have one question related to alumni, but maybe it's a question for François. I don't know if Olivia knows. Someone from Germany asks, can you tell us what some successful alumni have done after graduation? Maybe some examples of alumni.
Well, you can maybe talk about your classmates after that, but we have very successful among our alumni, very successful venture capitalists. We have people also in managing positions in a number of different industries. I can think of some people at BNP Paribas or aviation companies. There's Air France in France, but some other ones globally. But I can tell you that those people who climb up the ladder in the corporate world are not necessarily the ones we're the most proud of. And I can tell you we're the most proud of the entrepreneurs that get out of the program and that are starting their own companies and that are really being successful. And for those of you who would like to meet with these alumni who started their company successfully, or those who achieved an interesting career in typical industry, we can put you in contact directly with our alumni.
So yeah, I think what François just said is actually a very good point, because from my cohort, you were mentioning diversity earlier, and I think the diversity is not only culturally, it's also from the various backgrounds. And because I came from a very different background than what you're used to seeing in an MBA, but at the same time, we had people coming from finance, IT, we had PhD in chemistry, and we had people coming from medicine and all industries. And so these have changed, and some of them have been able to transition into major banks in Belgium or in the UK, but at the same time, from my cohort, there's a few startups that started, and they are doing actually quite well. And I mean, it's a big challenge, but at the same time, it's also very interesting to see the way the career path everybody takes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thanks very much. To get back to a little bit about the program, so maybe, François, can you tell us a little bit more about the international learning opportunities and how participants can take advantage of this?
Yes, sure. So firstly, you need to know that the program starts in Brussels for 5 months, and then the whole cohort either commutes or relocates in Paris. for the other 5 months of the coursework. And after that, there is a final project which can be either a business plan development or a consulting project with one of our partnering companies, or you can also, if you really want to transition from one industry to another one, or from one type of position to another one, you can do an internship in a company anywhere in the world. On top of that, so one of the opportunities is to do your internship overseas, and many of our participants are doing it in countries that they had never been to before. And in terms of international learning opportunities, you also have the international study trips, and I guess you'd like to talk about that. There's one study trip organized to the Silicon Valley with a focus on the ecosystem of innovation, a study trip organized to Hong Kong, and a study trip organized to Shanghai. And also we have sister programs. Actually, only just the MBA alumni from Solvay and Ecole des Ponts, it's 6,000 people all around the world, because we have, or we've had programs in Vietnam, in India, in Argentina, in Japan, in a whole number of countries, and our participants can still take advantage of that by taking classes in our program in Shanghai or in Morocco or in Ho Chi Minh City as they seem fit for their career strategy and for the networking opportunities.
Okay, thanks very much. I'm going to go back to a question from the internet. So it's, what are the options for specialization and electives during the full-time MBA? Is it possible?
Would you like to comment on that?
We have a number of electives. So you for the core programs, I think, I'm not sure how many numbers we have.
In terms of number, we have 14 core courses, and it's something important also is that we have this block teaching. So each class is taught as a 1-week course, and it's very easy to manage in the schedule. And I think there's approximately 10 elective classes that you can choose from.
And you need to have at least a minimum of 3 electives, but it's up to you if you want to take the rest of the electives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What kind of electives are you taking, Verna?
I've taken risk management, and for this week we have design thinking and business negotiations as well. Yeah, those kind of stuff. I think the most important ones for me. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go back to another question for the web. So maybe for Olivier. So it's from Romania, and it's, what kind of return on investment can you expect to get from an MBA degree?
So that's usually a question that comes up, and so the return on investment can take several forms. I mean, it can be the job opportunity you get right after your MBA, but it can be also the people you meet. And so that's we talk a lot about this, but I think it's also, for me, it's also a very important return on investment, because I remember saying in my speech for the graduation is that I'd never expected a return on financial or quantitative return on investment, because that's not what I was looking for in an MBA, because I wanted to redesign myself and rethink what I wanted to do with my career, and that's what I came for. And the return on investment is that I discovered during my MBA and during the talks that we had a whole new field, and for me that's my takeaway. This is my takeaway, and as well along with all the people I've met and I've interacted with, which I keep on which I have used to grow my network.
Mm-hmm. Great. Another question from the web, and this one actually has to do with the executive MBA program, because today we're talking about the full-time program, but someone wants to know, is there a big difference in the curriculum between a Solvay Ponts part-time or executive program and a full-time program? Can you tell us about that?
Actually, not that much. Not that much. The courses, the curriculum are pretty similar. The main difference in terms of curriculum is that you have a number of electives which are offered in the full-time program, and this is not the case for the executive MBA program. In the part-time program, which takes place in Brussels, you also have a few electives which are offered. But mostly the program that you can really tailor to your needs is the full-time program.
Thanks very much. So another question from the web, and this one is from India. It says, how successful are the chances for a candidate looking to change function as well as industry? For example, someone looking to change from credit appraisal profile in banking to, say, food and beverage industry in function of brand management. That's the question. It's a little complicated, but how hard is it for someone to change their function and their industry if they do a full-time MBA? Let's be more.
I mean, it is hard. You need to be aware of that. The further away you want to go from your background to a new type of position, it's difficult. Personally, I come from the recruitment industry. My previous job was for a major staffing company, and what employers are looking for is people with the right set of skills. So when you're in a world when you have lots of competition between people willing to go to work for the same position in the same industry, it's a competition, and you need to make a difference, and you need to know that if you want to achieve this kind of transition, you'll be competing with people who have always been working in the food and beverage industry. So this being said, I said it's hard, but that's something that many of our MBA participants achieve each year, moving from one type of position, and I think Olivier is a good example of that, to another one. And Olivier is competing in terms of user experience with people coming from IT, some people having a business background, but he still can manage it. So that's important for us as business schools at Solvay and at Ecole des Ponts to be aware of that and give the right tools to enable people to transform themselves. So if you want to achieve an ambitious career transition, it's going to be tough, and we're here to help you do just that. I don't know if you'd like to comment on that.
Yeah, I think it is interesting. The thing is, it brings down to what you want to do and how you want to achieve it. And the thing is, during your MBA, you'll be able to see if that's feasible, if it's achievable or not. And what is interesting is that you'll get honest feedback on that. Or people will say, well, I think to do that, you can do it, but you'll have to acquire all these new skills. Or honestly, it's going to be really complicated, and the thing is, people are here to guide you and to give you feedback all the way. So I transitioned from the art world, and now I'm moving more into the tech world, and it's possible. It seems completely different, and yet it's possible.
I would just add that how do we do that, practically speaking? Of course, we leverage our network. That's where the network is very important, because when you want to transition, you need somebody to give you the first chance, the first opportunity. That's also why we're offering the opportunity to do internships, and we open the school's networks, my personal network, to our participants who want to move from industry.
Okay, thanks very much. You mentioned actually the career advancement program for each participant. Can you tell us how that works concretely?
Sure. I'm looking at the participants because they've taken the program. So basically, what we're organizing is a career advancement program all throughout the MBA. So there's, I think it's 11 seminars that are 3 hours modules dedicated to a specific topic. So in the beginning, the focus is, I would say, internal. You get to know yourself better, get to understand where you want to go, what are the steps you're going to take to achieve your transition. And after that, it's more about how you market yourself, how you acquire new techniques to hunt for the job you'd like to do. And after each seminar, you have workshops which are supervised by an international career coach, where you work in groups of 4, 5, or 6 MBA participants, and where you work on these topics that have been discussed during the seminar. And here, what is very important is that you get feedback from your peers who have very diverse backgrounds, who can tell you, oh yes, that's right, you make me think of somebody I knew in my former company. And on top of that, each participant has a personal career coach that they can refer to, with whom they discuss their career objectives and can ask for specific advice.
Okay, thanks very much. So my next question is a little bit about what innovations Solvay Ponts putting into place. What does the future look like for the MBA?
Okay, yes, and starting next year. So we've been focusing a lot last year on offering the best classes on innovation management and how to start a new venture if you want to start your own company, or if you are in the corporate world. And now what we're working on is to offer more opportunities to learn by doing things. So a first example of that is that starting next year, the class will travel to Bordeaux to design their own class wine. And they will not only design their own class wine, but they will also crowdfund it, and they will also market it internationally through digital tools. Another very exciting project is that the class will also design their own app and market it on the app stores. And something that is really exciting, because at Solvay and Ecole des Ponts, this is something we really care about, is that the class will also have a social impact project. And they will have the choice either to do a class project or to do a number of small projects which will help transform their environment. So this is really where we want to go, because I mean, you can do an online MBA and you will learn finance, you will learn the theory of marketing, you will learn amazing things that are taught in an MBA, but where it's really worth doing a presential full-time program is to have the opportunity to experiment, to experience yourself, to make mistakes and to learn from your mistakes, and also be aware of what you can achieve that you never thought you would be able to do.
Okay. Thanks very much. I'm just going to remind people again, so if they want to send their questions, it's live@accessmba.com, and we do have some questions lined up. Some of these questions are very particular. So for example, someone from the Ukraine writes, can this program be useful for a tax advisor with professional experience of 15 years? I'm going to reformulate that question and ask you, what is an ideal candidate, or who is a good candidate for the MBA program? Another question is, should an entrepreneur do an MBA? And maybe, Olivier, any of you can answer that.
So as I'm the admissions director, I can say what type of candidates we're looking for. Mm-hmm. So basically, your background doesn't make a big difference, because we have all kind of backgrounds, very diverse backgrounds that we like to have in our programs. What is interesting for us is to understand that you want to achieve something, that you are ambitious, that you want to learn something, and that you want to really achieve a personal and professional transformation. So we are, I think that in most MBA programs, they're looking for high GMAT scores, for egos, and I would say that we're really looking for personalities, people with the potential, with the talent, that will be able to leverage all the knowledge, the tools, and the soft skills that we're offering in the program. I don't know if you...
Go ahead.
Okay. So it's more on the personality of the people. and the drive of these people to want to go to pursue further in their career and their personal development. I think that's the most important part, because most of the classes they promote really critical thinking, and it's for people who want to think more differently than what they were used to. And so you have to accept these changes, and you have to learn from these classes, and then you have to apply it afterwards. So it's more on really on the people who wants to go further with themselves. So, yeah.
I'll answer to the last part about entrepreneurs. Should entrepreneurs do an MBA? I think it is interesting to do an MBA because I, for instance, had a startup which failed. And which was actually the step just before my MBA. So the thing is, I was able to learn during my MBA all the mistakes I made and how eventually I would have done it much differently and would have gotten to the same conclusion in a much quicker way. And I think entrepreneurs have something to gain because entrepreneurship is about a spirit. And the thing is, that spirit is also challenged by others, and so we've had entrepreneurs in our cohort, and they were always challenged by all the rest of the cohort or by the teachers, and so that's why I think there's lots to gain from doing an MBA, even if you're an entrepreneur and you think you've already mastered it all. But the thing is, you'll always acquire new skills, or you'll get feedback, which is a big part of the project.
I'd like to add something on it, because I had recently a feedback from one of the entrepreneurs who graduated from the program, and he told me, when I decided to do the MBA, my friends told me, don't spend your cash on an MBA, keep the cash for your business. And then he told me, now I know where I can find the cash, because I have the right tools, the right connections, and now I have all the investment I need for my business that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't done this MBA.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have any entrepreneurial specializations in the MBA? I mean, is there a focus towards entrepreneurs?
Well, actually, our focus is on innovation management. So it's designed for people who understand that our world is not only changing because of the globalization, but mostly because of technology, and that technology enables globalizations and not the other way around. So you're in any type of position, in any type of industry, you're going to find disruptive innovations on your path. You're going to have to adapt to this new technological world, and it's very important to develop this kind of tools. And of course, with a curriculum with a focus on innovation management, it's ideal for entrepreneurs who want to leverage all the opportunities offered by the digital economy to start with.
Okay, thanks very much. Now another more specific question from the web. Can the Solvay Ponts MBA help somebody who wants to start a non-profit organization? Do you have subjects, programs that have a focus on non-profit, so social entrepreneurship?
We actually have a class, but it's coming, so we haven't done it yet. So it's on social entrepreneurship. Yeah, and I think it will be a quite interesting class. So we get to know more about how social entrepreneurship especially in today's globalized world works. So maybe you can add more about what you've been through. Yeah, as well.
That's true. We do care deeply about having an impact on the world, and through social entrepreneurship is a way to do it. Because, for instance, we have coming up next month the World Alumni Congress, which is under the theme of doing well by doing good. And so it will be along those lines, with speakers coming from all over the world, and with alumni coming on from all over the world. And it's going to be a big event, and it's actually under the high patronage of Mohammed VI, the king. And so yeah, I think this is something that is deeply rooted in the DNA of the two schools, and they are trying to transmit that to the cohorts.
Yes, and I will add to that not only in Paris, but also you probably know that Brussels is the capital of Europe. It's one of the capitals for NGOs. We have many alumni holding decision-making positions in NGOs, so with an amazing network in Brussels, and mostly in Brussels, but also in Paris. And we also offer a special scholarship for NGOs and social entrepreneurs.
Oh, super. So we're talking about things that one can do after the MBA. This question's more for Olivier. So as an alumnus, do you have alumni activities?
So what I was just referring to is an example of the alumni activities, and I've actually just taken a role into it because I joined the alumni board here in Paris. And the thing is, what's interesting with the full-time program is that you'll have the opportunity to leverage two networks, because you have these two schools, and so both of them have had already a very international network, and it's the same. So once you graduate, you have access to all of these people all over the world, and I think it's deeply rooted in that you need to interact with them. And so here in Paris, for instance, there's a monthly meeting every last Tuesday. So people gather in a hotel bar, and you can just either you sign up or you can just show up. And I go not necessarily every month, but every time you meet new people, and you do very interesting networking this way. And maybe here or maybe in Brussels or around the world, you'll always find somebody from the school that you can just call up and go talk to.
Do you have any examples of how you've used the network in your career?
Yes, I have. So I've used the network here in Paris to be able to interact with people in this new industry I wanted to transition to. And I was also able to meet with alumni while traveling in Hong Kong and in the United States. And so it's always interesting, because when you meet these people and you just go talk to them, you can just either go for a simple chat and then just introduce yourself, or you can just go with something in mind and be able to leverage their contacts or get a feedback on what you want to do, and so that's always very interesting. The network is pretty strong.
Okay, thanks. My next question will be more for François. So it's a question from the U.S. What percentage of students are from the U.S.? Are there many U.S. companies that recruit on campus? And any internships with American companies with Solvay Ponts?
Okay, so I would say that each year we have one or two participants from the US doing the full-time program, and I would say it's pretty much the same for the executive MBA program and the part-time MBA program. So just make your calculations. There's an average of 20 to 25 participants in a cohort, and we have also very strong ties with the Fox School of Business at Temple University, and actually our Global Executive MBA is a dual degree with the Fox School of Business, and that makes for very strong ties with the network of Fox. And so, for instance, for the World Congress, the Alumni World Congress in Marrakesh, it's a partnership between the alumni from Ecole des Ponts Business School, but also Solvay and the Fox School of Business. And so, do we have companies recruiting on campus? Yes, we do. We do have companies recruiting on campus, but you must understand that when you have 20 people in the cohort, not every employer will find somebody to hire within the 20 people. So when they come on campus, they're looking for all the profiles that they can find on campus. So bachelors, specialized masters, and also MBAs. When you're doing an MBA, because you already have this background, our full-time participants have an average of 6 to 7 years of work experience. Some of them have 15 or 20 years of work experience. You don't find a job because a company went to the campus to look for, I would say, junior consultants or junior collaborators. What you really do is that you design your career plan and you leverage the network to gain access to the decision-making people in the industry you're looking for. And you're probably aware that I would say 95% of US companies have their European headquarters either in Brussels or in Paris. Okay. Well, not for the finance companies, which are mostly in London.
Okay, another question from the web, and we're getting a lot of questions about eligibility for the MBA and when to do the MBA. So this question is from Lebanon. Take a candidate that is currently eligible for the full-time MBA with 5 years of working experience. If you're in currently a steep climb in your career, is it better to postpone and do an EMBA instead to not lose momentum? Would it be wiser? Can you maybe comment on that, or?
I think it's a very smart question. When you have this momentum in your career, maybe it's not the right time to stop having results, achieving things in the company you're in. And he's right. In this case, I most of the time advise to do a part-time program or an executive MBA program, because if you feel that you need to spend some time with yourself to really work on your weaknesses, but also on your assets and develop them because you feel you can go further. Well, it's fine with us. But losing this kind of momentum, I wouldn't say it's a good idea in the economy as it is today.
Mm-hmm. And Verna, how did you know that it was the right time for you to do an MBA? What prompted you to make that move?
Actually, I was in contact with our administration's office for 3 years already. So I kept on postponing the program because personally I wanted to save before I came here. And so, yeah, but I realized that I wanted to do more. And as early as maybe 3 years experience in work, I wanted to do that. So that's what prompted me to pursue an MBA. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And why did you choose Solvay Ponts over other? I mean, there's so many options in France. And what made you make the final decision?
It's a good program and it's a good school. So.
Okay, so another question. When is the best time for applying? 6 months in advance? And that question is from Poland. When should you start to apply? 3 years in advance?
Yes, basically the best time for applying is when admissions people have some time to dedicate to you, because what we're doing in the admissions team, and I think that Verna can tell you about that, and Olivier also, is that we not only look at your profile, but we give you advice on how to really explain your personality to the admissions jury and go through the admissions process. And because we've been struggling in the past with late applications in June and July, we've set up an early bird reduction to encourage people to apply no later than May 15, so that we can really spend time on applications and on advising candidates. So if you'd like to apply for the September intake, don't wait any further. Now is the right moment if you want to have a full attention from our admissions department.
Just to reflect on that, I think that it is important. I didn't sign up that early. I mean, I ended up signing pretty early, but I remember that the admissions committee and the admissions team really helped me, and because I came at an info session. And I was really curious because I feared that my background wasn't enough and that wouldn't be relevant. And I remember very well having long conversations with them, and where they helped me and they guided me. And the thing is, they kept calling me back over the next few months while I was preparing the GMAT. And like, well, how are you doing? How's it going? And that really helped a lot. And it really, I think it pushed me to actually sign up here because I knew that I had a staff that was there to listen to my needs and that understood that I had doubts on what I wanted to do. They knew I was determined to do it, but I was like, well, is a master in fine arts relevant? You need a master's, okay, but is it going to be okay? Will I have enough to share with my cohort? And it ended up being extremely valuable and extremely interesting year. So yeah.
Super. That ties in a little bit as we spoke about GMAT. We have another question from the web. So how does a below average GMAT score need to be compensated to have a better profile as seen by the admissions committee? And there's other parts to that question, but maybe just that first part. How can someone compensate for a lower GMAT on their application?
We're looking at the GMAT because in an MBA there's a number of quantitative topics that you need to be able to address. I would talk about finance, for instance. So it's important that you can really manage the finance classes. So if you have a very low GMAT score, maybe it means that an MBA is not the best of ideas. So what we do when we have people with a low GMAT score, we look at, of course, the entire profile, and what we're really looking at is the motivation of the person and the project, the MBA project, but also the recommendations that we get from people who know them in a business context. And in some cases, actually, we offer an alternative to the GMAT, which is our internal test on quantitative and reasoning skills, which can be taken either on campus or online. And in some cases, somebody who has a low GMAT but tells us, well, maybe I did not prepare enough, we're giving them another chance to get a better score with our internal test.
I actually have something to say about GMAT. I think when you prep for the GMAT, it's what's important to understand is I took it twice. I failed on the first time because I actually learned that it was more about time management and stress management, and which is something interesting that you need during your MBA because you're going to have a workload which will be important, and therefore if you're what you need to understand for the GMAT is that you have all their given questions and you're supposed to allow yourself a given amount of time. And once I understood that, I was able to perform much better on my second go at it. And I think what François said is that it's I think the profiles and the recommendations are very important. So make sure that when you apply, if you have a low GMAT, it's okay, but make sure that whoever's recommending you is truly relevant to what you have done so far, and that hopefully they'll speak highly of you.
Can I add something?
Yes.
I actually didn't go through GMAT, so I went through the online exam that they gave me. So maybe what I can say is you need to put more practice into your problem-solving skills. So if you intend to join the program, so that's it.
The second part of that question is, what should someone highlight as experience on their application? What experience is valuable to Solvay Ponts? Or maybe one of the participants.
I think this is more something as a personal question, and that's a discussion you can have with the admissions team. If you have a number of experiences, we can maybe help you highlight the ones that are the most relevant. But what you need to keep in mind is that the people who are making the decision, so it's a jury, they're looking at people who are going to bring something special in class for their classmates, and something special for the schools after they graduate. So if you feel that you've done something special in your career path, then it's worth highlighting it. And if you have no idea, we can help you look at that. And sometimes when I'm in France giving participating in panel discussions. Maybe not everybody knows that in the French-speaking culture, you're not supposed to, and in many countries also, you're not supposed to claim that you're the best at doing something. You need to show that you're very humble, and that's something we're really helping lots of people doing, because in the first place they're being very humble and saying, oh, I never achieved anything. And when you start discussing with them, you understand that, I mean, they're great people, and they just need to maybe say louder that they had major achievements. And obviously, when you look at some countries, everybody has had that many awards and the dean's list, and which is not something that you have in all the countries.
Okay, great. We just have a few more minutes left, so I'm going to take one more question from the web. To our web audience, just to let you know, you can always send in questions, and we'll of course pass it along to the Solvay Ponts MBA. This last question is, what is the format for the part-time MBA, and does it involve much traveling?
No, it does not involve much traveling, because basically the part-time MBA is really designed for people living in Brussels or near Brussels. You have classes in the night time and on Saturdays, so it's you shouldn't consider doing this program if you live more than a couple of hours away from Brussels. So if you're living in another city, I would rather advise considering the Global Executive MBA, which is given over weekends once a month, and you can just travel to Paris to take the classes. And just to answer to the question about traveling, the traveling involved in the part-time MBA, as in the other programs, is the international study trips. Which are an amazing, I can tell you, an amazing experience. I did not mention that actually I did the Executive MBA program, not the full-time program, but the Executive MBA program. And in a study trip, you meet, well, I would say four C-level, 4 companies per day with C-level executives each time. And I think that's where you realize what you've been through your MBA program, because you can talk as equal with people from leading companies. In the last study trip at the Silicon Valley, our participants sat together with the founders of such companies as Uber and Airbnb, and here you can, and these people talk to you. They give you their time because they're interested in the questions and what you and what you have to bring them in terms of your culture, your background, and the challenge that you can put on the strategy. It's really a transformative experience, these study trips.
Great. And I just want to reiterate, because I'm not sure we ever mentioned, and of course this information is also available online, what's the format for the full-time? How long is it, and when does it start, when does it end? Maybe Verna, you can tell us, because you're doing it now.
So the first 5 months of the program is located in Brussels. So you need, for the classes, it's laid out as such that there are 2 or 3 subjects per month, and it's 3 to 4 days of classes. It depends on the availability of the teachers, of course. And yeah, so the first 5 months starts. The program starts in September, usually, and then for the next 5 months. So I just transferred to Paris. So we just started having our classes here in Paris last February. So yeah, after that, internship and special project, whatever you choose.
So the total time for the full-time program is?
It's 10 months.
10 months.
And then 3 more months to do the special project.
Super.
Or up to 5 months if you want to do an internship where you can demonstrate your skills on the job.
Okay, perfect. So do you have any tips for someone to increase their chances of being admitted into the MBA, or even tips as someone who's already applied, for someone who's thinking about applying?
Do you? Because I do.
Go ahead.
Try to visit the schools. You'll first the campus are just amazing in Paris and in Brussels, but then you get you really get a feel for the mindset of the people here, the mindset in the staff within the cohort, and when you understand what it is to be part of this cohort, it makes it lots more. It makes it really easier to explain in your application why you should be joining this. You should be joining this cohort. And if you can travel to Paris and Brussels, try to not try, but just call us and try to set up a Sky meeting with the admissions team. And most of the time, there is an alumnus available in your country to meet with you and discuss about your MBA project, so that you can really get an understanding of what we're doing here, our values, our mindset, and our assets also.
I think it's important to have the same mindset as the MBA you're going to do, because you're going to spend so much time here and you're going to spend so much effort thinking about it, that if you feel that it's completely off, then you're not gonna have an ideal experience. So it's come and see the staff, or come and see the campus, or research who our professors are, if you've read about them, or I mean that's also something that's interesting, is that that you can come for a specific professor because you've read his books or whatever, and then you wanna do your MBA there, and I think talking is important.
And maybe the most important thing is to have an open mindset, because once you're fixed on something and you get disappointed about it, then it's really no good. So yeah, it's to have an open mindset and to absorb everything that you learn from out of this program. So that's the most important part.
Thank you. So I'm going to end with one last question. It's kind of the famous question. Are there any scholarship programs available for specific countries? What kind of scholarships does Solvay Ponts offer?
So the scholarships we're offering are tuition fee reduction scholarships, and we have two criteria. One is merit, how much do we feel that you should be joining our schools, and the other one is the financial need. So of course, if you're coming from an emerging country with low standards of living, or very little access to bank loans, you have a major advantage in candidating. So there's not specific countries which are targeted in our scholarship, but we take into account this financial need and the country you're coming from and the salaries you used to have. And we have a number of policies, so we are encouraging women to apply to our program, and of course the entrepreneurial mindsets, and also people with disabilities or senior professionals who, because we like to have a huge diversity in the cohort, even with people with more than 20 years of work experience.
Okay, thank you very much. So with that, we're going to conclude our Solvay Ponts MBA live event. I want to thank all of our participants as well as our web audience for tuning in. We'll be following up with all of our audience who want to receive more information.